What's up, everybody? What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? G1 Climax 29 kicked off last night. You are here in the Wrestle Cave, one of the Wrestle Caves. We have a lot of caves. We got a lot of Wrestle Caves. But you can follow us down here, Facebook, Wrestle Cave Podcast, Instagram, Wrestle Cave, Twitter, at Wrestle_Cave. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff, too. We had the G1 last night. Here's what we're going to get into today. We're going to get into G1. We're going to break down all the A-block matches. We're going to break down some of the other matches as well, the preliminary matches. We're going to get into Impact Slammiversary, which is taking place tonight, so we'll preview that. And then we are going to go and talk to you a little bit about some of the matches that got announced for Raw and SmackDown. So another good episode. Lots of wrestling again as we continue to pump out these videos for you. Hit one thing, just hit subscribe down there, hit the notify bell, hit like, comment, do something for me, help me out, share this in the group, join our group on Facebook. But anyway, we're a minute in. I try to keep it to a minute, those little things, so I can keep rolling. All right, so last night was the first time ever that the G1 kicked off. Not only was it the first time it kicked off, it was the first time it was actually in the United States, so it was really awesome to see that. They were at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. I'm not a big fan of Dallas, obviously. We're Philly people here. Dallas sucks, sorry. But great showing last night from the crowd there. I really liked the energy that they brought. There were a lot of empty seats, but from what I've heard, some of them weren't even available because New Japan didn't want people to be far away from the action. But still a good showing, I would say, from the crowd that was there. No, they didn't get the numbers of the WWE pay-per-view or AEW pay-per-view right now, but still a good showing for the first time doing the G1 in Dallas, Texas. They did announce two other things before I get into this. They announced they are coming to New York, they are coming to Boston, and they are coming to Philadelphia in September, which is amazing. So tickets for that go on sale, I believe, July 26th. So really want to check that out. But now let's get into it. So the preliminary matches. The first match, we had the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, taking on Roppongi 3K. Solid match. I love both of these tag teams. Yo and Sho both had good showings in the Super Juniors. Tama Tonga's a little pissed. Maybe Tonga Loa too. They're pissed they're not in the G1 this year. They've been in it before. They want to represent Bullet Club in this, and they don't have a chance to, so they're pretty pissed off. But it's really, really great tag team matchup, fun matchup. Really showcased two of their top tag teams that they have and what they can do. Sho took a good beating. Yo took a good beating. All four of these guys, really, there was a lot of fun that was had in this match. The neck breakers from Tonga were all over the place. But at the end of the day, GOD, the Gorillas of Destiny, did get the win over Roppongi 3K. All these matches that were on the preliminary were really fun, especially this next one. You had Tomohiro Ishii and the young lion Shota Umino. I believe, no, it was Goto that came out with the shirt later, I was going to say. But then you had them taking on Jeff Cobb and Ren Narita, another young lion, who again had a really good showing in the Super Juniors, as I talked about yesterday, and I'll probably continue to talk about as we talk about this guy forever, as we continue to see his progression. But two monsters going at it in this one. The good thing about this, a lot of these matchups you're going to see, like the six-man tags, the tag teams, they're previews for matches we're going to get later on in the G1, which I think is pretty cool. So in this particular one, next week you're going to see Ishii taking on Jeff Cobb. So we got a little preview of that in this one, which was pretty awesome. There was a spot where Shota was trying to do a suplex on Jeff Cobb, and he kept hitting him and trying it, hitting him and trying it, hitting him and trying it. And then Jeff kind of got him up, and then Shota just picked him up and suplexed him. And it just goes to show, like, the storytelling just in between, like, just setting up moves is pretty cool. Like, you have the young lion trying to pick up this big, huge dude, and Jeff Cobb, who just isn't moving. And he just basically goes down on his knee every time the guy tries to suplex him. But when the young lions were going at it, that was really something. And when Ishii and Cobb go at it, I mean, the lariats, the forearms to the face, I mean, in the end, Jeff Cobb would pick up the win with the Tour of the Isles. So he and Ren Narita did get the win in this one. But another really fun matchup, really good preview. Can't wait to see Ishii and Cobb get it on next week. It's going to be awesome. So it's our first preview of the night into some matchups next week. So they do a good job of building towards these matchups you're going to get over the next few weeks. Next, we had Yoshihashi, who's not in the G1 this year, and he was teaming with Hiroki Goto. Hiroki Goto came out wearing a nice LA Dojo shirt, and they were taking on the Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Jay White. Really, really fun matchup. I believe Goto is going to take on White next week, I think. Chase Owens. I love Chase Owens. Chase Owens is what, I tweeted this out, Chase Owens is what Kurt Hawkins should be in the WWE. A guy who can go but doesn't need wins. Like a guy who's funny, but a guy who is tremendous. He can be in a stable. This is why stables are so awesome, stables and factions, because you have a guy like this who is very credible, very good in the ring, but he doesn't always get the wins, but he's always around and giving you solid performances, and he's having fun. And I think that's what you're missing in WWE, and I think Kurt Hawkins is what, or Chase Owens is what I think Kurt Hawkins has the potential to be. Because right now he's not doing jack shit. So anyway, I don't want to get into WWE comparisons in a night like this. But anyway, Yoshihashi and Goto would get the win over Jay White and Chase Owens. Nothing too crazy in this one to talk about. Just, they lost. Jushin Thunder Liger, Juice Robinson, and Toru Yano are teaming up in this next one to take on LIJ, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Tetsuya Naito. So this one again previewed some matchups for next week. We're going to get Naito and Yano, so they faced off for a little bit in this matchup, and it was exactly what you expect. We had Shingo and Juice go at it a little bit. We're going to get that matchup next week, which is, these matchups we're going to get like right off the jump are just awesome, and you'll see it tonight. As I review this from what we got last night, these matchups were great. But so I sent out another tweet. What is the over-under on pads, like turnbuckle pads, that Yano is going to remove throughout the G1? I tweeted 4.5. I think that's definitely an over. I think probably 9. I'm going to go 9 out of 9 for Yano doing that, but he did it again in this match. Shingo really delivered a lot of hard hits when he was going at Juice. So that, I think they kind of previewed that you're in for a hard-hitting affair in that one. Naito and Yano, you kind of expected like Yano was going to try to play around and Naito's just going to like wait until the right time is to strike on him. I think that's what you're going to get out of those two. So you're going to see those two matchups next week. Dallas, thank you for showing the love, the respect that Jushin Thunder Liger deserves. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I love when stuff like people like him, he's on his farewell tour, and they just chanted his name like pretty much the whole match. And he had a good showing as well. I think LIJ did try to remove his mask a couple times, but he wasn't having it. In the end, Liger, Juice, and Yano would all pick up the victories, would pick up their victory over LIJ in this one. So Liger's on his way out. His last match, he already said, is going to be at Wrestle Kingdom. So I'm hoping and praying he comes again when they do the Boston, Philly, New York thing, because I definitely want to check out the one in Philly. Now we get into the nitty gritty, the really good stuff, the A block. And if you aren't noticing, I'm wearing a nice Dave Reed shirt. If you don't know Dave Reed, go check him out. He's a nice independent wrestler from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right in our hometown. So go check him out. This is his shirt. You can go get it. You can find him on Facebook and all the nice places. He's doing big things out there. Also wrestling down in Delaware, too. So go get that. Go find Dave out. Dave Reed. Dave Reed. But anyway, we're going to get into the A block. The A block. The A block. The kickoff of the G1. So, the G1. We had Lance Archer taking on Will Ospreay. Lance Archer now by himself, no Killer Elite Squad. He came out with a brand new look, shaved off the sides, dyed his hair. He had just a crazy look going on. Came out with a lot of intensity. He ran around the ring and just took out a whole bunch of young lions around the ring. So you knew he meant business right off the jump, and you knew that this match was going to be something. Will came out and he just looked like $1 million. He's been red hot. from his Super Junior win and his win over Dragon Lee, winning the New Japan or the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. So this is his first forte in the G1, and I predicted he was going to beat Lance Archer. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, right off the bat, Ospreay went right after him, and I believe he did a Spanish Fly, then moonsault, and then he did a crazy spinning moonsault off the top rope onto Archer to the outside. There was another spot Archer got the claw on him and threw a table, or chokeslammed him through a table on the outside. There was a top rope Spanish Fly that Will got on him. There was a top, he hit the blackout, which nobody really kicks out of the blackout except for Ospreay. So Archer hit the blackout, and it wasn't enough. There was a lot. This was a fight, and I was really impressed with both these guys, especially Lance Archer. Lance Archer put on a show tonight. He even did like the Undertaker kind of thing where he gets the wrist control, goes up to the top rope, walks all the way around, and he's kind of sitting there. He goes, "We'll go this way. We'll go this way," and he goes all the way around. So he really showed off in this matchup, and I was really excited for him. I'm really happy to see that. In the end, big surprise for me, and I think a lot of people, a top rope blackout followed by the claw that he just pinned Will Ospreay with. Lance Archer, 2 points, defeating Will Ospreay. Definitely go check this match out. It was a great way to kick off the G1. Lance Archer holding it down with this new look, displaying a lot of new moves, a different side of Lance Archer we haven't seen. Still intense, but he's bringing it. He definitely showed in this one that he's coming in this G1. He's definitely coming. And I kind of talked about that yesterday. He was on with Meltzer, and he kind of talked about, like, it's his time to shine. So I thought this was going to be an Ospreay win, but I guess you can't have Ospreay win in the first match right in the G1. This is why I love the G1. You can never predict it. The next match, again, we have Evil taking on Bad Luck Fale. This one was just a story of two big bruising guys from their factions who have so much history together in LIJ and Bullet Club. Evil obviously wants to make a name for himself. So the interesting thing here is they were bringing up a lot of what Bad Luck Fale did last year, where you remember he got disqualified, which in New Japan, as they told you, pretty hard to get disqualified from G1 matches. You basically have to try to get disqualified, like really, really bad. They tell you, like, outside the ring, you can pretty much do whatever you want outside the ring. It's when you bring the stuff in the ring where the ref gets mad. And what he did last year was just a lot of, like, basically Bullet Club coming out. He was taking chair shots to people. He just basically wanted to get disqualified. But in this one, for a little bit, I thought he was going to actually try to win it, legally. He basically, right off the bat, they're outside the ring. Evil did his running lariat, I believe, all the way down the ramp. They were slamming each other down on the ramp. The back was really taken out from Evil. Evil's back was really hurting after a couple big shots from Fale. Like I said, that scoop slam right down onto the ring ramp there. What else did they do? The chair, again, the chair is what came into the play. They were doing stuff outside with the chairs, which is fine, but like I said, when you bring it in the ring, that's when you have the problem. So they had the chair, and the ref's trying to get it. I believe it was Marty was trying to get the chair out of his hand, and he swings, trying to let go, and Marty goes flying. So then Evil tries to use the chair in the ring on Fale. It backfires. Fale puts the chair on Evil's head and then swings with the other one, and then he delivers the Bad Luck Fall. 1, 2, 3. Bad Luck Fale starts off tonight with a win, so I was 0 for 2 on my predictions on that one. I don't know why, I just thought Fale wasn't going to try to take it seriously just like last year. That's what I was going off of. But at least he's trying to win by any means necessary, I guess, this year. So you have 2 points so far from Archer, 2 points so far from your boy Bad Luck Fale. Two good matches to start off the G1. Next up, we had Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Sanda. I put this in our Facebook group. I just said Zack Sabre Jr. versus Sanda is just what wrestling should be. It's just beautiful wrestling. If you want to go see beautiful wrestling, a very technical matchup where they're just rolling all over the place, countering each other, roll up after roll up, just moves you've never seen before. The Paradise Lock on around the ropes. Zack was really getting cocky, as Zack does. He actually sent out a tweet that said, putting on a good technical wrestling match for a U.S. audience is like reading Shakespeare to a dog. Ouch. But needless to say, these two did put on a great technical wrestling matchup. Very fast-paced throughout the whole matchup. In the end, again, Sanda wins. So I was wrong again. I picked Zack. I thought Zack was going to win, but Zack was really pissed off because the end sequence saw a lot of counters and roll-ups as we saw throughout the whole damn matchup, but there was another one, and Zack just got rolled up really quick for the pin 1, 2, 3, and he wasn't expecting it, so he was pissed after the matchup. But Sanda wins this one, and he gets the 2 points. So Sanda, Fale, Archer, all with 2 points so far. Again, you can't go wrong going back and watching. Well, I'll talk about of the 5 matchups, which ones to really go check out. But then the next one, Kenta, formerly known as Hideo Itami, coming in finally in New Japan. He is taking on Kota Ibushi. This one was very, very, very hard hitting right from the start. Right at the beginning, they just slap the shit out of each other. Like Kenta gives him a good slap across the face. Kota comes back and slap across the face. A couple of really good hard kicks from Kenta in this one. There was a nice spot on the outside where Kenta had Kota draped over the barricade, and he went up. To the not the top rope, on the ring apron there, and just ran and delivered in a double stomp right to his back. The double stomp, and then the running double stomp drop kick that he does, that Kenta does. He does it like nobody else. So it was really cool to see Kenta in New Japan taking on Kota. If you want to see a hard-hitting matchup, I would definitely go say to check this one out. These guys are both really athletic. In the end, Kenta would win with the go to sleep, so I finally got one right in my G1 predictions. The preliminary card did pretty good, but the G1, not so much. So after this one, I think I'm going to stop predicting them, and I'm just going to cover them. I'll probably still predict them and still get them wrong, but whatever. Kenta beats Kota Ibushi with the GTS. After the matchup, they both show a lot of respect for each other. Kenta helps up Ibushi, leaves the ring so he can get the standing O. They hug it out and everything, so it was really good to see the mutual show of respect between two guys like that are very, very high caliber guys, and they're going to be like I talked about yesterday. I think it's in this bracket. It's going to be Ibushi, it's going to be Kenta, it's going to be Okada, Tanahashi are going to be the top guys from this bracket, and we've seen Kenta and Ibushi already basically killing each other the first night. So we're going to get a lot more of this. And then in the main event from last night, a phenomenal one again. You have two guys. I've told you the story yesterday. We've talked about it. You know anything about these guys, you know there's a long history with this. But Tanahashi has won 3 G1s. Okada has won 2. That's the storyline I'm going with. Okada wants to win again. Okada wants to be the champion, and he wants to be the first one since, I can't remember, it was like 2000 something, to win, to be the champion and win the G1. And he wants to pick his own opponent at Wrestle Kingdom, which I said probably Jon Moxley if they're going to go that way. Or he could win and pick Kota Ibushi, or Kota Ibushi could win. There's so many different storylines going on here, even like the B block, which we'll get into next week. I run through those storylines. Those are even more interesting than the ones in the A block. But let's get into this match. There was a lot of good stuff in this match. Tanahashi hit a huge high fly flow off the top rope onto the outside, onto Okada. Okada really was just trying to deliver rainmakers on all night, pretty much, as he does. The Dallas crowd, again, was on fire. Like, as soon as the bell rang, they just went crazy, crazy, crazy. And Okada and Tanahashi really ate it up for a minute, and it was pretty cool to see. I just love the appreciation of, like, this type of style of wrestling, because so many people crap on it, and I feel like when they come over, sometimes they don't know what to expect. but it was really awesome to see the crowd give them exactly the type of applause and respect that they deserve. And again, they put on another great matchup here. In the end, the third Rainmaker that was delivered from Okada to Tanahashi would do him in. They did a really good job of telling the story and telling like how this feud has evolved. Kevin Kelly and Rocky Romero were on commentary all night, and of course those two guys know all the history of New Japan, and they were telling you everything that these guys have been through with each other and against each other. The Ace against the Rainmaker, and Rainmaker won this night, and he is my pick to win, as I talked about yesterday. There's a lot of good guys in this, but my matches of the night, you gotta go back and watch Kota and Kenta, you gotta go watch Sanda and Zack Sabre Jr., and you gotta go watch Ospreay and Archer. Go watch them all, to be honest with you, because Okada and Tanahashi was pretty good too. But for me, I'd have to say number 1, Kenta Kota, Sanda Zack, Ospreay Archer, Okada Tanahashi, Fale Evil. You can't go wrong. Just go watch them all, because you got a week until we start really getting into this thing where we have the G1 going almost every single day. And it's harder to catch up, so you might want to watch it now if you're planning on doing it all. I'm hoping to do it all this year, so we'll see. I say that every year. I did pretty good with the Super Juniors. I did about the first 7 days in a row, and then towards the end, I got it was tough, but I did get 3 or 4 days in a row here and there. So I'm going to try and see what I can do for you guys when covering the G1 this year. Going to try to do as much as possible. But let's get into, before I do, actually, just let me know what you guys thought of the G1 Night 1, what the results were. Did you think the people who won were going to win? Because I sure as hell didn't on some of them. I thought Ospreay was going to win. I thought Evil was going to win. I thought Zack was going to win. So this year's G1 is really going to be something to watch and look out for, because it's anybody's game here, to be honest with you. But we'll see moving forward. Next week we'll get night 2. But for now, Okada, Kenta, Sanda, Fale, and Archer all getting 2 points after the first night, and they are all on the leaderboard. So let's get into the next thing. But before we do, Twitter, Wrestle_Cave, Instagram, Wrestle Cave, Facebook, Wrestle Cave Podcast. Hit like, subscribe, comment below. Enough of that. Let's get into Impact Slammiversary. So tonight we will be viewing Impact Slammiversary. Yes, I know that I still have this up here, so let me just get rid of that. Boom, that's gone. Boom. I don't have an Impact Slammiversary thing up here for you. But anyway, so tonight we have a lot of good matchups. I think that Impact is really trying to steal the show with all the talk of AEW, the talk of WWE stepping their game up, Evolve's on the WWE Network. We have NXT UK doing their thing. New Japan's got the G1. So Impact is like, guys, what about us? What about us? So they've all been talking a pretty big game, and I think they're going to put on a pretty killer show tonight. Let's get right into it. Eddie Edwards and Killer Kross, first blood match. They've had a pretty good feud going on. Eddie Edwards has snapped over the past couple of years. He's really hasn't been the same. He's been carrying his kendo stick around, his cane, and he's not afraid to use it. And he really has gotten into it with Killer Kross, and this first blood match is going to be a bloodbath. My pick, I'm not as versed in Impact as I should be, because there's so much wrestling going on that I don't have time to watch it as much. But I'm going to go with my gut here. My gut is going to tell me Killer Kross is going to take this one, because the image of Eddie Edwards bleeding and just a bloody wreck is always a good one to kind of be left with. I've seen it myself at House of Hardcore shows and stuff, so I'm going to go with Killer Kross on this one. The next matchup, I was going to look for a pen. Hold on, I'm going to get a pen real quick so I'm going to circle them. I got them down written over here. So we're going with Killer Kross. Next up, in an intergender match, we have Sami Callihan, leader of OVE, taking on Tessa Blanchard, the unbreakable one. I got to go with... This is going to be tough. Again, another... Tessa's really fucking tough as nails. She's had matches with put that down before I get distracted. She's had matches with the likes of Joey Ryan. She's had matches with Pentagon Jr. She's had matches with Daga. She's had matches with Brian Cage, the Machine. So against Sami Callihan, she's going to be able to hold her own. It's just how hardcore is this match going to get? How vicious is this match going to get? Is Sami going to make it that way, or is Sami just going to look to make it a wrestling match against Tessa? In the end, I'm going to have to say that Tessa is going to find a way to pull it out. So I'm going to circle Tessa down here in this intergender match. I love Tessa. There's nothing. Tessa's been up here as far as women's wrestlers have gone through 2018, 2019. Her, Taya. You have a couple other ones in WWE like Charlotte and Becky, Bailey. There's really not a whole lot of other women up there. Jordan Grace. Britt Baker's doing her thing right now. There's a couple other ones over in Japan. Toni Storm's also doing great. But right now, Tessa is changing the women's landscape for the better, especially wrestling a lot of these men, kicking their ass. So I'm picking Tessa because Tessa B ain't nothing to fuck with. So the next matchup for the Tag Team Championships, the Impact Tag Team Champions, we have a three-way dance. We have a good old-fashioned three-way dance. The North. Oh, yes, the North. We are the North. Ethan Page and Josh Alexander. They are the Tag Team Champions heading into this one. Will they be able to keep them? Because they are facing two of the top tag teams, not only in Impact Wrestling, but in the world, in the Rascals. And they'll have Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz in this one. And the other one is probably in my top three for tag teams in the world right now, LAX. LAX, you talk about tag teams that are the best in the world and been on fire for the past 2 years, or even more, but especially the past 2 years. LAX, I'm going to go with they're getting their tag team titles back. They're going to find a way to win this one somehow, and they're going to restore the gold back in LAX. Another women's match, or the first women's match, I guess you could say, because the other one is an intergender match. We're going to get the Impact Knockouts or Women's Championship, whatever it's called, I forget. I believe it's Knockouts. Title is going to be defended in a Monsters Ball match. I love these matches, and it's going to be so awesome to see all these women taking place in it. You're going to have the champion Taya Valkyrie taking on Rosemary, Su Yung, and Jessica Havoc. That's right. 3 crazy ass bitches taking on Vera Loca, who's crazy herself, good old Taya Valkyrie. So you better watch out for this one. It's going to be a bloodbath. Su Yung, anytime she gets in there, there's no telling what she's going to do. We've seen it in her casket matches when she brings out her undead bridesmaids and all. It gets really crazy when Su Yung comes out. But ever since Rosemary's been back, she's really been messing with all these people. So her and Jessica Havoc are going to be kind of interesting to see their roles in this matchup, and they're going to bring, no pun intended, the Havoc to this matchup. Or pun intended, I guess. But this is where it's tough, because I really like what Taya's been doing, but I'm going to say for this one, Su Yung is going to get her title back. Su Yung is going to win the Monsters Ball. This match is perfect for her. Rosemary and Jessica Havoc are going to go at it with Su Yung, but I think they're going to somehow get mixed up in Taya's nonsense, and the only way Su Yung is going to win is just to use those undead bridesmaids to her advantage in this one. Or Rosemary, Jessica Havoc, who knows? But I'm picking Su Yung. Next up, we have Moose and RVD. I'm picking Moose. Love RVD. I've seen him wrestle quite a few times over the past couple years at Northeast Wrestling and some Impact shows. But for this one, I have to go with Moose. Moose is awesome. I've been watching Moose wrestle for quite a number of years. Back when he was in Ring of Honor at the old Armory in Philadelphia, before they started using 2300 again. When they've been going all over the place, but I'm picking Moose on this one. I just love Moose. His character as it evolves and goes this way, that way. He's got the North and Moose. That's all I'm going to say. Moose on this one. The Moose is going to be let loose. So the next one, we have an X Division Championship matchup between Johnny Impact and the champion, Rich Swann. Rich Swann. Rich Swann is the current champion, and I'm going to say Rich Swann is going to walk out. the champion. I really like what Rich Swann has done since coming back to wrestling and being an Impact, MLW, being all over the place. But I'm going to pick Rich Swann. I think he really does a good job of representing what that X division is, what the type of athletes they have, and how they wrestle. So I'm going to go with Rich Swann on this one. And finally, in the main event, we have Big Mike, Michael Elgin, challenging the Machine, Brian Cage, for the World Championship. Now, Michael Elgin hasn't been in Impact too long, but since he's been there, he has really made an impact, pun intended, no pun intended, all that, but he has made an impact for Impact since joining them. He, again, I told you before, probably on the podcast, I don't think I did in any of these videos, but I'm not a huge Michael Elgin fan, but since his return or debut for Impact, I have really liked this side of Michael Elgin. Didn't like him a whole lot when he was in Ring of Honor, but you have to respect him. No matter what, if you like him, you don't like him, you have to respect his body of work, and you have to respect when he gets in that squared circle, he can absolutely go toe-to-toe with anybody. And I absolutely mean that because I've seen it. So I've seen some of his matches with Jay Lethal, and I think his match with Brian Cage, you're going to see that because both of these guys are some of the biggest athletic guys in wrestling, along with guys like Jeff Cobb, Ishii, Brody King, those type of guys. These are some of the biggest but most athletic guys. So it's going to be really fun to see these guys go. But I'm going to say, I know that Elgin has... see, here's the thing, because I've heard that Cage has been injured, so I don't know. I think their plan is to keep it on Brian Cage, but I think if he is injured or has been dealing with an injury and it may not be fully healed yet, they might want to get that title off him for a little bit and give it to Michael Elgin. But I'm going to be stubborn, and I'm going to say Brian Cage is going to leave Slammiversary with the championship, and that's all I got to say about that one. I'm just, again, I could be totally wrong because I am not as versed in Impact as I should be. And again, I do like Impact. It's not because I don't like it. I do watch it from time to time, but between all the shows and all the stuff I try to break down for you guys, it's hard. But I am going to watch the pay-per-view tonight, so I'll try to do another one tomorrow. Maybe we'll review that, do some news and notes, or I might just save it for when I review Raw. We'll see. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. If you ask for it, I'll do it. So that will be Impact Slammiversary, which will be tonight. And finally, let's wrap it up here with a couple of things that have been made official for tonight, or for this week's Raw and SmackDown. We'll see if they actually happen. But for Raw, we have an intergender, or a mixed tag team match that has been announced. It will be Seth and Becky Lynch taking on the team of Andrade and Zelina Vega. There's been a lot of trash talking online too between Zelina and Becky, so I think this one's going to get pretty damn interesting real quick, because Zelina can talk just as Becky can talk, and Seth and Andrade are two of the best in that business. So if you let those two guys go and you let the girls mouth off, and you let those girls go at each other too, because Zelina, don't forget, Zelina can wrestle. Don't you forget that. She just doesn't get a chance to all the time. So we'll see what happens in that one. Probably Seth and Becky will win because they need that momentum running in to next Sunday. But we'll see. And then Shane and Drew McIntyre will be taking on Roman Reigns and a partner of Roman Reigns' choosing. So a mystery partner. I'm going to go with Kane. I feel like can't pick Undertaker right now, so let's go with Kane because that's the closest thing to the Undertaker. So Kane's going to show up. Kane's going to come down, choke slam Drew McIntyre, choke slam the best in the world. And then on Sunday, Shane McMahon's going to win, obviously, because Shane McMahon is the best in the world. I gave myself a headache. I can't even think about people actually think or just say that he's the best in the world openly, like Taker and stuff. Ugh. Shane McMahon is not the best in the world, but that's a story for another day. SmackDown. So SmackDown this week we have a couple matchups. Finn will be taking on Finn Balor. Yes, yes, the Intercontinental Champion. The championship you haven't seen in so long. Finn Balor will be taking on Shinsuke Nakamura in a non-title match. If you remember a few weeks ago, we had a little backstage segment where they were kind of sitting there and Nakamura came up and looked at his title. So we're going to get that match this week. And then we're going to get a matchup between Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler, apparently. Whatever with that. We're going to get a tag team Championship Summit, whatever that means, between the New Day, Daniel Bryan, and Eric Rowan and Heavy Machinery. So whatever that is, we'll see what that's all about. And then finally, we will apparently find out Aleister Black's challenger for Extreme Rules. I hope we don't find out personally. I hope it's more mind games, and I hope they keep us waiting until Extreme Rules. So if they're smart, that's what I would do, because then it's like, I don't know, a cliffhanger for SmackDown to get people to actually watch your show on Sunday. I think that would be the best way to do it. And again, like I said, I don't think it should be Bray Wyatt. I know a lot of people want it to be Bray Wyatt, but let's think. We can still play mind games with Aleister Black and have Bray Wyatt showed up down the line, because right now they are both being kind of reborn, repackaged, reintroduced into the WWE universe. And I think it would be smart if you kept them separated for a little bit, because each one of them needs a win. Each one needs a win. It would not be smart to have either one of them lose right now. I would like to see Buddy Murphy. Yes, I've said it a million times. Buddy Murphy can definitely benefit from being put in a feud with Aleister Black and putting on a great matchup with him, to maybe his 205 Live capabilities. Let those two guys go as they can go toe-to-toe, one-on-one, and you'll see the striking ability of both these guys, the athleticism of both of these guys, especially Buddy Murphy, and then have Aleister lose. Aleister win, I'm sorry. Buddy loses, but he still builds credibility as the best-kept secret, because he can put on a show and impress so many people, as we all know on 205 Live he did many times as a Cruiserweight champion. I've talked a lot today. I've talked a lot over this week. It's been a whole week of videos. I hope you guys have liked all of the videos. Go back. Do me a favor and go back. Did preview of G1 last night. I did the recap of SmackDown, recap of Raw, recap of AEW Fyter Fest. Go back, watch any of those. Like them, comment on them. Subscribe if you like it. Notify bell if you want to get notified of when we're going to go live. So what is on the docket, you ask? What's coming up? We have Impact Slammiversary tonight. We have Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK. Next weekend, we are getting more G1 Night 2 of the B Block, which we will break down later in the week. We will also preview Fight for the Fallen later on in the week, so we will get two shows. Maybe combine them, maybe not. We'll see what happens. And then Sunday we will have, also Saturday we have Evolve, the 10th anniversary show, so we'll get that into one of these shows coming up. And then we also will be having WWE Extreme Rules preview mixed in there. So with all of this wrestling, there will be lots of content, lots of stuff to talk about. I'm going to try to get Ace to join me maybe right here one of these days, maybe Robbie right here, maybe Pat, somebody. I'm going to have somebody join me to talk about these shows, because we've been texting, like me, Ace, Geechee, Robbie, Joey, Pat, we're all texting, talking about the G1. We're all going crazy, debating this, debating that. I want to get it here. I want someone right here debating, talking, letting out that letting out that knowledge of what they've seen, what they enjoy, what they don't like, and bring it out to you guys, because maybe they can share some stuff that I didn't see with you guys. But I've rambled long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed the G1 Night 1 last night. I'm sure I did. As I said, go back and watch all of those matches, but if you can only watch 3, I would probably say go watch Kenta and Ibushi, go watch Zack, Sabre Jr. and Sanda, and go watch Ospreay and Archer, because they tore the house down as well. Then if you have time, Okada and Tanahashi was the main event. And yes, I know it was a great matchup, but for me, I've seen a lot of their matchups, and a lot of these were first timers, so they were really good to see, and a lot of them really blew the roof off. So that's what I would say. And don't forget Impact Slammiversary tonight. Go down Wrestle Cave Podcast on Facebook, Twitter at Wrestle_Cave, at Wrestle Cave on Instagram. Follow Dave Reed. Go watch some Dave Reed matches. Go see Dave Reed live. I'm trying to think of anything else. I think that's it. Do me a favor, if you have any questions for the podcast, put them on the Twitter or put them on the Facebook. Go join the Facebook group. There's over 1,400 members. I don't think there's anything else that I have to talk about today. The only thing I want to say is, everybody, I hope you enjoyed your week. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. And I hope you enjoy Impact Slammiversary tonight. Have a good one. Don't forget to follow us.